Welcome to What the FFF, your mindset and nutrition. Welcome to What the FFF, your dose of no bullshit training and nutrition advice. Your host, Brendan Andrews from Forever Forward Fitness, with over 8 years experience and over 12,000 sessions and counting.
And Michael Shanos, elite level powerlifter with over 5 years experience in the disability fitness space with his business strength community. Alright, welcome to What the FFF with myself, Brendan.
I'm the Moose.
Today we are talking about, well, I should actually say, episode 5.
Episode 5.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we'd made it this far?
Yeah, far out. We are disciplined individuals, far out. The discipline on us. What are we talking about today? We're talking about
mental health days and the work that it takes to take a mental health day. I think is a good one, where we were talking about self-development the other week and how that it takes effort. Like, I see far too often people take mental health days and they're going to the pub. That's not a mental health day, that's a day off. I think there's a clear distinction. Mental health days take work. Like, if you then take a bit of reflection as you move on to go, I need some rest today, that's fine. I need to go to the shops or whatever it is. But without reflection, it's not a successful mental health day. All you've had is a day off.
Yeah, 100%. So I really like this concept. I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I don't think I've ever taken a mental health day. Probably need a couple. That's small business life.
I've taken some old mental health days.
Some old ones.
Yeah, where I went to the pub.
Yeah. But this is a good episode because I believe it was episode 3 and I had my 7 tips for mental health.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a great way to, if they are they're proactive sort of ways.
Yeah.
You can go. But if you get to the point of where you're going, I need to take some time for myself and take a mental health day. This is a concept, like you've got your free guide on your website, don't you?
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
how to
There's
sort of reflect on it.
On the old LinkedIn page, there's a mental health day reflection sheet. Very basic, but it's just some simple questions that I think people should ask themselves if they've taken a mental health day. That you take the time to acknowledge why you've taken it. Like, just saying, I just need a mental health day. Is it a mental health day, or do you just need a day off?
Yeah.
What's the reason that you need to take a mental health day? If you don't identify the reason, then you've achieved nothing.
Yeah, 100%. There's a big difference between just need to catch up on some errands and get ahead of some stuff, and compared to acknowledging and trying to work on some mental health stuff.
Yeah.
So let's go into, so what does that reflection look like? Because this is something that you've sort of created. So
it's just a simple one. All right, let's bring the sheet up.
Okay. In the meantime, I guess the example you used before we started recording was pretty good. The mental health day is not go down the pub for 6 schooners and a pub feed, is it? It's I've looked after myself.
Yeah, that's a day off, and I think there should be a distinction between the two. I guess a little rant. I truly believe the mental health days are something that people should take if they're needed, but I think people abuse them. And I think all companies and businesses should encourage people to take mental health days when needed, but there should be it's just not a day off.
Yeah.
There should be a follow-up process from companies and businesses to say, well, if you want to take this day off, take it off. Here's some sort of sheet reflection, and then a follow-up, whether it's a week or a month later, to check in to see how it is. You take a day, if you look at it as a perspective of a small business owner or just a business in general, that you have a staff member take a day off, and then, take a day off, see you tomorrow. I don't think there's anything achieved out of that. So that's why I think this is a personal reflection form more than anything. But it's very simple. So the first question is, why did you take a mental health day?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty simple question.
Yeah.
It might not be a simple answer. Like, I wouldn't expect it usually. Usually it's not, well, one thing. Usually when people take a mental health day, it's a cascade of many things.
Yeah.
So that might be a hard question.
Is that something you could apply the 5 whys to as well? Like if you go, why don't I take a mental health day and I'm stressed?
Yeah.
Do you think it needs to go a little bit deeper?
I think so, and that would be down to the individual of how honest they're going to be of why they've taken it.
Yep.
But yeah, that could definitely be incorporated.
Yeah.
The second part is, what did you do on your mental health day?
Yep.
I think that's a pretty reasonable question. For personally, and like if you think about it as if it was put forward by an employer, you give someone a day off and then they've written down, went and had 6 schooners and had a pub thing.
Yeah, well, 100%. Well, a good example, I'll use myself as an example. So if I was to take a mental health day, my mental health day would be somewhat busy. Not too busy, but I'd walk Willow out in nature. I'd go to the gym. I'd make sure I eat well. I'd make sure I'm active. I'd probably do some like basic chores around the house. But in comparison to what some people would do with a day off is that they might binge Netflix and eat like shit.
Yeah.
Like, I know if I did that, and I know I have done that in the past.
It's not going to help your mental health day.
It's not going to help your mental health day. Like, you're going to come back the next day, you're going to be feeling sluggish, groggy, and then when you're sluggish, groggy, you're not going to be in a place to improve your mental health. So, I really like this concept. It's good.
And then, why did you do the things? Why did you do the things that you did on your mental health day?
Yep.
Just a little bit of reflection on, was it positive? Was it negative? Is it something that you enjoyed afterwards? Plenty of people do stuff in the moment, for whatever reason, and then after it they have regret or, distaste of what they did.
Yeah, I think it's just a simple acknowledgement of it, isn't it? In the back end of our goal setting, we do a fall in love with the process, and I tell them to set a goal, and then once they achieve that goal, stop and acknowledge it, and it's acknowledging your actions that build towards that. So if it's you're stopping and acknowledging the positive actions that associate with you improving your mental health or getting on top of a bad mental health week, month, year, or anything like that, then I think that is a really powerful thing, because that psychologically will create a positive association with your actions. If you've got more positive actions that line up, great. Good.
Exactly. Did these things make you feel better? I think that's a pretty reasonable question. And I guess that's just what we just talked about. Just that acknowledgement, and wherever we've created that positive attachment to whatever we've tried to do. And we need to know if it works or not. Plain and simply, if you take this mental health day, you might not get it right the first time. You go and have your 6 schooners and you feel like shit afterwards and you've achieved nothing. Well, then you go, alright, well, if this happens again, let's not go and have 6 schooners. Let's go for a walk. If yes, why do you think these things made you feel better? And that's an optional one, I guess, because that could be no. Was your mental health day effective? And then why or why not? So there's just that little bit of reflection of your day afterwards. And I guess, when do you do it? I guess that's not a question, that's more of a when do you do it?
Within the mental health day. When should you do something like this?
When do you do that reflection? And I would say afternoon, evening. I wouldn't say do it before bed. I don't think doing it before bed's a good idea, because if you rehash the day and you've had a shit day straight before you go to bed, it might lead into a shit tomorrow.
That may lead to an hour just rolling around in bed.
So I'd do it, say, well before a wind down period of your day. Do that at 5 o'clock. I don't know.
Whenever middle afternoon sort of thing. By the time the end of your work day would have finished. Because realistically, as you said, and I really actually like the concept of how workplaces should actually set up a structure for this.
I think so.
Because you're right, people do abuse it, because there's been people take mental health days and then that's just to add an extra day onto their holidays or all these other things, when realistically it shouldn't be.
There's a bit of an honour system to it at the moment, and I think it gets abused a lot, but I think it is needed 100% needed.
And it's not like that GPs or doctors are supporting this, and you know what I mean? So if you go to the GP, it's not hard to get a doctor's certificate that you're sick.
No.
I'm a bit sad. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're going
and I'll be honest, I've used the pay as you go back in the day for a doctor's certificate. You go to the chemist. Cost you $30.
Yeah.
They'll give you one.
Yeah.
Don't ask your wife.
Yeah.
It's like, I need a doctor's certificate. Alright, $30.
Yeah. But you still get paid that $100, $200 depending
Yeah.
on what you get paid that day.
Yeah.
And that you don't go to work.
Yeah. I always use sickies. I never took a mental health day as such. I don't think they existed when I was still working.
When you're employed.
When I was employed by somebody else. But I would always take them to suit me. I'd go to work when I was sick. I already felt like shit.
Yeah. I think I'm much the same. I think there's the same tanglement you get in small business as well. It's like, I'm just going to feel like more shit if I don't go to work.
Always corresponded to round my days off, or a Friday or a Monday.
Yeah, depending on how big the weekend was.
Yeah. I'm sure my boss would have got a few emails at around about 3 a.m. Sunday. Sorry mate, can't make it in this morning.
I feel a bit unwell. I'm a little croaky. 3 a.m. Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's solid innings.
Many moons ago.
Yeah, okay. So to reflect on that, so it's the concept is that instead of just doing willy-nilly shit on a mental health day, it's actually, let's be practical and let's try and get some measurable things that we can improve, rather than just going, she'll be right.
Yeah, just a little bit of acknowledgement of why. Find out, identify what that problem is. Like, and it for most people, I think for a lot of it, it's a cascade of a lot of things. So you're probably not going to be able to solve an issue. It's not going to solve an issue, but it's going to identify them. This made me feel like this. That's why I had to take this day off. Whether it's relationship issues or financial issues, whatever it is, at least then you're like, all right, well, this needs work because I don't want to feel like this.
Yes.
I have to take time off to sit here and identify why I feel like this. And then that little bit of acknowledgement, and then it's like, all right, well, maybe I don't need to make a plan today while I'm in this heightened state. But now that we've acknowledged what it is, when I've calmed down, we can, maybe we need to see a psychologist, a therapist, whatever.
Yeah, there's a long list of options
that
are out there.
Or maybe it was just like one of their moment things, and then when you brought yourself back to a calm state, or whatever you want to call it, an unheightened state of emotion, you'll be like, I might have overplayed my hand here. Like, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Yep.
Good to go tomorrow.
100%. We also, when you said psychologists and counsellors, you also forgot to say what their podcasts as a form of therapy.
Yeah, that's right. You come and listen to some tales.
Some tales. Some long tales. Should I share what I learned on the weekend with that Jason Irving, the guy that had that sort of that triangle, that he called himself a healer, but I think it could be good, more advanced technique for people to sort of address their emotions and acknowledge them as well. Share that.
Yeah.
So essentially, without the visual, it's a little bit hard to explain. But imagine that there's a triangle, and at the top, you're looking at a triangle, and the flat part's at the top. And on the top left, there's thoughts. And on the right side of that triangle, there is your emotions. And then at the bottom of the triangle, there is like a limitation or a behaviour that comes with it. So I'm just going to use an example. Is that I'm the thought. What's a thought? I don't know. What's a limiting thought that you could be having to do with when it's in the realm of mental health day? Like,
I'm not good enough.
Yes. Okay. There we go. So I'm not good enough. So you write that down, and you go, I'm not good enough, and then you write, what is the emotion? How does that make me feel? Does it make you feel sad? Does it make you feel anxious, stressed, depressed? What is the emotion that it makes you feel? And then you go down, and then you go, all right, what is the behaviour that leads me to?
Yeah.
And if for myself, that could lead me to procrastination. I may not be as focused, I won't be able to apply myself, but it's going to be individual. Like, how would that make you feel? What would your limiting behaviour be if you were sort of feeling that self-doubt? And
again, very, and I think for a lot like that, I like the sound of it, but for somebody that's new into the realm of like call it self-development or mental health and stuff like that. The biggest issue is that they don't know how to identify what emotion it is.
It's definitely more advanced.
Yeah.
It's definitely more
And
advanced.
that's the task. That's the big task. It's like, all right, well, I feel like this, and you can get confused. Like you've seen that circle of chart, like of where the emotion things is. And you know, when I first started, I'd be like, I attach that with anger. I wasn't angry. I was fucking sad.
Yeah.
But sometimes I would display sadness as anger.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't understand what it was.
Yeah.
And it takes, and that's the big part, isn't it? Where you start to identify what your emotions really are. You're like, oh shit, I wasn't angry, I was just fucking sad. Like,
yeah, 100%. I think as you go into this sort of stuff, and as you start the process of pretty much acknowledgement, or another word for it is self-awareness, which I think is a powerful thing. It just starts to unravel that emotional intelligence that you start to build. Because I don't know about you, but before I was in business and before I started all this stuff, I had no emotional intelligence either. I was not able to process my emotions.
Anyone's born with it.
No, I do think that some people have a better baseline though. I don't think, I'm sure that parents and role models and communication within those fields make a massive difference. And, you know, for anybody who doesn't know, Moose and I are cousins, and I think we could say that the communication within our family isn't great.
No.
We don't need to go into that anymore.
Sorry, fam.
Yeah, sorry, fam.
We're all, it is funny, like it is everyone. It's everyone in our family are fucking horrible communicators, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But we're trying.
That's right. Look, and two horrible communicators, start a podcast.
Yeah.
What a better way to increase your communication skills.
Yeah. But I think, and it's not in the delivery of the way we talk.
No.
It's not the way that we talk, the communication. It's just the information that everybody's kept to themselves when they probably should have shared over the years, and that's big in our family.
yeah, 100%. It is, and I think that's a big part of why I think out of the 5 episodes that we've had so far, how many of them have we spoken around mental health or something around like this? I think we've mentioned it in every episode so far.
Yeah.
Like, there's energy flows where the focus goes. That may have not been as much mental health, but so far we're almost 5 from 5.
Yeah.
So obviously it's something that's very important to us.
Oh yeah, and definitely. I think we've all been pretty passionate about that. We've all had our own struggles, and I don't think we've ever made that a secret. And that's the easiest way to be able to communicate it well, is that if it's not a secret, you've got nothing to hide.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think more people, the more open you are with people, the more open they are with you. Sometimes we've all come across where people overshare. It's not an oversharing situation. Like, you don't need to go and tell the person at the bus stop what's going on. But if that works for you, whatever.
Yeah.
But just don't become reliant on someone that's not going to be able to give anything back.
Yeah, 100%. Or may not want to give anything back, or even want, or be in the place to receive what you're going to give.
And that is the other thing too. Of when you tell people stuff, is that you don't overshare. Like, people are not your psychologist.
Yeah.
They're not your therapist. Like, you can't put all your emotions on to people all the time. And I think that comes into relationships too. Like, you just can't unload all the time on people.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's your problem.
Yeah, 100%. I really like that. Like, as coaches, we cop that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because at the end of the day, like, we're just untrained psychologists, and that's like that's what we do. And you know, we've learned we have to have our own practices to deal with that and manage that, and with the energy and filling our cups and all that sort of stuff. But in the way of like friends and family relationships, it is very important. And a powerful question is like, are you, do you have the energy right now, or do you have the space right now to actually help me with a problem, or listen to this problem, or literally just let me dump this on you?
Yeah.
Because not always is someone else ready. Like, they could already be anxious and stressed or something like that, and then you go and just tell them how much you want to bash someone's head in at the bus stop. For a very poor example. But
You okay, mate? You're all right.
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah. No one at the bus stop's copped that in.
What bus stop reference today?
Yeah, why the bus stop? We're both train the other day, but I haven't caught a bus in yonks.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, did I? Actually, I think I was on a bus yesterday.
Oh, right, there you go.
No. What's today? Tuesday. Sunday.
Sunday?
Maybe. I can't
Oh,
remember.
you're in Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Gotcha. All right. I reckon that was pretty good.
Yeah. All right, that'll do us.
That'll do us. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you guys. Make sure if you're on the YouTubes,
On the YouTubes.
like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Yep. And then if you're on Spotify, give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, I gave us our first one.
Yeah.
We're pretty red hot.
I'm going to jump on after this and give us another one, just for the old algorithm.
Yeah.
It's all about the algorithms nowadays. And guys, if you got any feedback, let us know. If you got anything you want us to cover, if you got any questions, apparently we're mental health specialists.
Look,
So yeah.
lived experience, sharing our stories. Please note, we're not doctors
Please note, we're not doctors.
or
and none of-
therapists.
No, and we've given no medical advice today.
Absolutely zero.
But first disclaimer. We're going to leave that there. We left it 25 minutes deep to put the disclaimer in there, but it's there. Don't sue us.
Yeah, back end.
Back here. Thank you.